This is dedicated to Thomas King Keyes, my American grandfather, in observance of Veterans Day. Born July 14, 1927, died July 9, 2016 at the age of 89. Though you were not my grandfather by blood, you were the only real father figure I had. I love and miss you to this day. My Captain America, a poem dedicated to my late grandfather. And he wore armor in bright blue, red, and white, a man with great courage, honor, and might. Many spoke of his great heroism in whispers of awe, of his fierceness in battle, even as he gazed upon death's maw. But that was not the gentle giant that I knew as a child. I always saw him as a man whose words were kind and his manner mild. Rarely in my presence did he ever raise his voice. He only showed his anger when he really had no choice. As a boy, I remember the strength of his great hands and the undeniable resilience with which he stands. I remember the hero who watched over me in my times of sadness, with words of courage and wisdom to light up my darkness. But alas, I learned nothing lasts forever, and even the armored giant would one day falter. I saw with sorrow how his vigor and vitality weakened, and darker things to his once powerful body happened. I watched in horror as my once great hero became a frail old man, whose once muscular arms and legs became gnarled and wan. His eyes, which with intelligence and wisdom were bright, then became tired and he steadily lost sight. I wish I had been brave in my grandfather's final days, and stayed by the side of his bed as death approached him in many ways. I hid in fear and refused to see the demise of the old man who raised me, because I could not accept the truth of what I could see. I could not accept that the armored giant had reached the end of his life, just as 3 years before death had taken his wife. That beneath the giant's armor he was old and dying, and stood strong through the years to keep me from fearing. Still, a hero he will always be to me, no matter what scoundrels out there may say. His lessons of having principles and kindness will always be my way. He might not have been a man who was perfect in all ways, but his image to me as a true Captain America stays.